Garrett, you want to elaborate on your Christian Bale moment you had on set?
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
I'm really sorry, guys. That was my Christian Bale accent. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was great. Wow.
I apologize. I don't know if anybody heard that.
Yeah, he did.
Called K-Rock.
I don't know if anybody cared once it was at all.
Yeah, but I'm going to say that my favorite part of filming, though, and it was because it was so different from anything I've done, was in the final scene of the movie where La Llorona is eating people or whatever she's doing. And we're all running around in the woods looking for, I'm sorry, I think we're trying to be serious. We're looking for Maggie, and we had to do several takes of me finding her. But to find her, I had to start out way deep in the woods by myself with just a flashlight, and everybody was, 100 yards away by the lights, by the RV, and I was actually scared. It was fun. It was fun, because I don't usually do stuff like that. But, so when I was running to save her, I was running as fast as I could through the forest with a flashlight, and I don't know that I'll ever do that again.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself and what I will do for certain, roles. Like I said, if I would have seen the clip of me in the water, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in murky, dark water that was a lot warmer than it probably should have been.
That's blood.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I'm super glad that I did do it, and now I know,
You were out there in the trees the first night pretty far too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you were probably, man, I was like, go out further, no, further, and it was cold.
Oh, I learned that eating pretzels while you're trying to talk is probably not a good idea. There was that scene in the RV where we were like having a snack, and it's pretty hard to talk. I learned that Garrett has 1,000,001 ways of describing the deposit he just made in the toilet, because what we see in the film is just one of about 45 takes of him, describing what he just did.
That one had a fire.
It's just
Oh, God.
It's just everybody does it.
Yeah, but it's like, how Eskimos have like a million words for ice? It's kind of like that.
That was tough picking what to say.
I'm sure that
really tough.
I hope some of those ended up on the
They'll
the
be in
gag
there.
reel.
I'm still building it, but
Excellent.
When's the sequel? Her 2. TOO.
Her two electric boogaloo.
Also. Yeah.
H2.
Her also.
Her also.
I was really surprised that you wanted to have me as your second choice, because I feel like I have like such a kid face that like I envision La Llorona to be so much more just like Laredo looking,
I thought, honestly, no disrespect, you were too hot for the role. No, really, that's what I thought. I thought you were it's too much for any
You thought you were second choice.
third. But I was like, who am I gonna call? Let me call her up. And then I woke you up. I remember. I think you were sleeping or something. You were like, yeah. I go, you want the address? You're all, just email it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And
I know, and then I looked it up and I was like, mother, what?
But see, that's
How far
interesting
is
because you just said that you had like an idea of what La Llorona would
Yeah.
look like, and
Even though I've never seen
Right.
any films or pictures.
right, and I grew up in a different part of Latin America, and it was interesting working on this thing, realizing that all throughout Latin America, not just Mexico, not just where I'm from, which is Panama, by the way, there's the story of La Llorona is like throughout all of Latin America, and it's always pretty much the same. But I'm sure if you go to each different country and ask people what they imagine La Llorona would look like, it would be slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So, like to me, in my mind, growing up, it was more of like an older woman.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've also heard versions of it where she's more like this Mexican young woman in like some kind of traditional dress or whatever. So I don't know. I just think that's kind of interesting.
The makeup we had our cinematographer Kenny Gant, his sister Natalie Brown. She did some of the makeup, actually all of the makeup for the ghost, for Kristen's character of La Llorona. Gave her a pale look, gave her an older look at times. The one thing I did not want to do was make it a gore fest. I wanted to show La Llorona, you know, in her natural state, so to speak, as a ghost, if that makes sense. I didn't think gore would really do it, because to me this story is not about La Llorona. To me it was about closure, and the story was just based loosely around La Llorona, be it with Lou, be it with Natalia's family, or you know, Garrett's character may have found some closure in what he did. And I didn't want gore. I didn't want that to, you know, people to see that and go, oh, it's gory, and focus on that. Or, you know, I tried to build a decent story around this legend.